Just when you thought you heard it all, then this latest report out of New York that maybe the Yankees are interested in a Nico Hoerner deal. Now, I thought they had Jazz Chisholm. I thought they were set at second base. Well, the Yankees need a right-handed bat against the lefties. You guys know Nico does that well. And nothing would make them happier than to steal a potential future Red Sox away. But we don't think he's going. We're going to talk about that. The World Baseball Classic rosters are out. Some familiar names on the list, not just playing for Team USA, but all across the world. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Who you got in the big game? A former Cub pitcher's son isn't there for the first time in 3 seasons. And horrible tragedy in the Cubs family. Terrance Gore passed away at 34 years old. We're going to talk about all those things here on the show. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell, get in the comments section. Another day, another show. Let's get this thing going. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball Channel, and it's great to see you guys today as we hang out like we always do. All right, let me get right to it because I can read the comments coming in. There you are again, Mick. You're trying to trade Nico again today. You want him off the team. You're not a Nico fan. You think that the Cubs should trade Nico. No. This is a news show and a rumor show. It's the offseason of baseball. So when a report pops up, I cover it. And this one may be absurd, right? But when the New York Post, Joel Sherman, says that Nico Hoerner may still be available for the taking, and then writes a story about how the Yankees want a right-handed bat, and Nico hit .369 against lefties and had a 5.4 strikeout rate, and he would help the Bronx Bombers. Plus, now that they've got Cody Bellinger out of the way, they finally got that deal done. What would make this Yankees team better? It'd be Nico Hoerner. You remember last year they made that deal for Ryan McMahon at the deadline, got him from Colorado. He was really good defensively, but so is Nico. What about Nico Hoerner to the Yankees? Could that possibly happen? And in the history of really since the days of Babe Ruth, when the Yankees bought Babe Ruth from the Red Sox and then dominated the American League for all those years. And there was a curse of the Bambino. These two teams have been bitter rivals. And nothing makes Yankees fans happier than when they watch the Red Sox miss an opportunity. So there were a lot of Yankees fans that were glad that the Cubs signed Alex Bregman. And now it feels like if the Red Sox want to contend, that they're going to have to shovel off a lot to the Cubs to get Nico Hoerner to help their team. And that what if the Yankees could swing in there and take him away? Well, look, I still think that this is far-fetched. But until the season starts, I'm still going to follow this because with him having a contract that is up at the end of the season, the Cubs having a farm system that isn't anywhere near it was a couple of years ago, or if they could get players that would help their major league roster, and I think that there's certainly a chance that the Cubs, they're entertaining offers one way or the other. But what's cool, though, is you look at this Cubs team, and Nico Hoerner was elated that the Cubs got Alex Bregman. It'd be a shame to break this thing up because you look at what the Cubs have right now defensively, and I like what they're doing. They're building the defense first, and now they're going out and getting pitching. And that's how you win. It used to be pitching and defense. Sometimes it's defense and pitching. And the Cubs have kind of shown us, really since 2016 when they had the best defense in the league, and then the last few years they have, that defense makes a huge difference. And I like the way this infield looks. I like Michael Busch. I like Nico Hoerner. I like Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson single-handedly, according to the Padres, changed the series against San Diego. And then now Alex Bregman in third. Plus, you got Matt Shaw to maybe become a utility guy. I think the more realistic thing to me in this is you trade Shaw to the Red Sox, you sign a utility guy, and then, or maybe you get, somebody back in the deal that could play that utility role, and you get prospects or maybe some pitching. I'm not trying to trade Shaw either. I'm just saying, like, that may be it. And then you sign Nico to a long-term extension at some point, right? So I don't know. But when I saw this, I was like, man, wouldn't that be something? I mean, of all the things, could the Yankees really sweep in there and grab away Nico Hoerner from the Red Sox? And then Red Sox fans would be like this. We had Rafael Devers. He's out. We had Alex Bregman. He's out. And now we can't even get Nico Hoerner, and he's going to the Yankees. I don't know. What if the Cubs got Chisholm back and you put him at second? He'd provide a lot of pop, but he's not as good defensively. And look, Nico's a better all-around player. All right, I just had to talk about that. Now, the second thing I want to get into is the World Baseball Classic, and I'm a huge fan of this. I was friends with Tommy Lasorda, one of the great baseball ambassadors. Now, I know he was a Dodgers guy, right? But he was really fantastic. When you talk about just a guy that loved the game, and when they took baseball out of the Olympics, he pushed really hard to start our own basically Olympic baseball tournament. And I felt like at the beginning, like the U.S. players didn't really care about it, right? Like it's, you don't get paid, this isn't about your car or your house or your guaranteed contract. It's about playing for your country. Some guys did, some guys didn't. Like a lot of guys opted out, our best players. And then you watch the team from the Dominican, and you watch the team from Japan, and you watch the team from Puerto Rico, and you watch these guys show up, the team from Cuba, and they don't care about all that stuff. You know what they care about? Representing their country with pride. You do watch that Japanese team play, and it is amazing to see how proud they are to wear that uniform and represent their country. And their country watches. It's like a huge deal. Took us a little while, but Team USA figured it out. Look, in Venezuela, I'm not forgetting you guys either. So, but now you got Aaron Judge playing. You got big-time players playing for the U.S. and all around the globe. And when the U.S. won the World Baseball Classic, it was really awesome. And then when Japan beat the U.S. to win it, Ohtani versus Mike Trout, man, that was about as intense of a matchup as you could see. So they got the rosters out now, and the Cubs have some guys on there. I mean, throughout the World Baseball Classic. So Pete Crow Armstrong, Alex Bregman, Matthew Boyd are on Team USA, which is pretty cool. Seiya Suzuki is on the Japanese team. Javier Assad is on the team from Mexico. Man, he is, I love him, man. I mean, just underrated player. And from Tijuana, right across the border. Jameson Taillon and former Cubs top prospect Owen Casey, who got traded, are on Team Canada. Wish Owen Casey the best, man. I love him. Daniel Palencia on the Venezuelan team. Miguel Amaya, Christian Bethancourt, and Aaron Rodriguez on the team from Panama. One of my favorite dudes, B.J. Murray, who's a Cubs minor leaguer and a guy that I hope has a huge year in AAA, is from Curacao. He's playing for the Great Britain team. Yaxel Rios, right-handed minor leaguer, pitching for Puerto Rico, and Chinese Taipei has Jonathan Long, one of the most underrated prospects in the system. And I think that's awesome, man. I love it. Love all of these guys helping out, doing their thing, being part of what has turned into one of the really cool things. David Ross, who was the Cubs catcher during the World Series championship year. Rossi's the bullpen coach for Team USA. And I can't wait. So let's go. I know the Olympics are gone as well. Shout out to our our friend, former marquee employee, Tony Andracki, who's covering the Olympics right now. Talk to him and try to get him on the channel here soon. But we're talking World Baseball Classic, and we got a lot of guys representing clubs. So this is going to be fun. We're keeping an eye on that. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Been pulling for the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes. I remember his dad as a reliever for the Cubs, Pat Mahomes. So I don't know. He's not in it this year. First time in 3 straight years because he got injured. His team wasn't very good this year. It's the Seahawks against the Patriots. Last year, I'm telling you, man, the Super Bowl had all this intrigue and hype and everything. This one's like, it's so quiet. And why couldn't the Bears have made it? Can you imagine how cool that would have been? And the final thing I want to talk about, and this is really sad, man. I hated to hear this. Former Cub, Terrance Gore, dead at 34 years old. His wife said he died from a routine surgery. Now, I'm going to tell you something, a couple things. First off, I remember as a kid, I was in school, and one of our teachers told us that no surgery is routine. Anytime they cut you open, it is not routine. And I've always remembered that. And opening day 2023, I had an emergency appendectomy and almost died. And I remember laying in there, and I mean, this wasn't routine, you know, but it was scary. And I was so glad when it was over and, you know, kind of getting back going and doing things again on my feet and everything. But it was tough. And you when you're in those situations, you realize how short life is. You know, Terrance Gore was a really good team player, fast, played the game the right way, very well-liked guy. And he played for, you know, a bunch of teams, including the Cubs. And I hate it for his family. I really do. So condolences to the Gore family. And, man, I know it's going to be a really tough go of it as they move forward. The guy was only 34 years old. So they haven't, when I'm doing this video, they haven't said what the surgery was. But I just know from mine, you know, just anything can happen. You know, you can get a staph infection, and maybe something gets cut that wasn't supposed to get cut. You know, maybe your body reacts to something and is, you know, you're allergic to things. So anytime you go in, it's not necessarily routine, even if they tell you that. Well, look, guys, love you. Thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. You are helping us climb every single day towards 10,000 subscribers. That is exactly where we want to be sometime soon. So we're going to hit that mark here shortly, but appreciate all of you guys for hanging out. Don't hate me too much for telling you that in New York, they're writing about maybe Nico Hoerner, because I'm not the guy that wrote that. I'm just telling you about it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Cubs.